the women's semi-final between the unseeded Japanese Goto and the number 5 seed Bae Youn Joo from Korea Republic. Ranked number 14 in the world, Bae Youn Joo, and she's brought a little bit of form down under as well for this tournament. Semi-final at the Korea Premier Super Series earlier this year. Bowed out early at the round of 32 in the All England Open Championships. And of course, for Japan, Goto, she's had a fairly easy run of it so far, Mark.
She certainly has. She benefited from the number 1 seed having to withdraw, we believe, through injury leave from China. So Goto had a nice easy draw through to the semi-finals, and actually in the quarterfinals she had a walkover from an injured compatriot Mitani from Japan. So she should be fresh and ready for the contest today.
And she should be well rested then, up against the Korean, who's been in some form so far. Unseeded number 20 in the world, Goto. There we see her career win-loss. And for 2012 as well, it's been a mixed bag so far, but she did come fresh from the 36th Yonex Polish International, where she won as well. There you see her results. Pushed to 3 games.
And that was a fairly long match there, winning 21-14 in the 3rd game. But that's pretty much the only game that she's actually had to play in the tournament so far, so she should be fresh compared to her Korean opponent.
There is Bae Youn Joo. 4-3 so far in 2012. And looking to go all the way to the final here. Runner-up in the Sunrise India Open Super Series midway through last year. And there's her road to the semi-final as well, and same for her, Mark. Just one really tough challenge there against Wang Lin.
Well, and that was a big match yesterday. 64 minutes, going down to the wire at 23-21 in the 3rd game. So a brilliant win for her. It'll be interesting to see how she comes up today.
Well, these two have met twice before, but not in recent times. The last time was victory for Goto in the Uber Cup, the Proton BWF Thomas Uber Cup finals. That was back in May 2010, and before that it was Bae Youn Joo who got up in the Osaka International Challenge way back in 2008. So not necessarily familiar with each other's game coming into this one, but when you reach this stage of a tournament as well, when you're on the road, when you've been on the road for so long, so much to play for.
And this tournament, the Australian Open, is one of the last tournaments prior to the Olympic qualifying period concluding, so a lot of these players are in Australia to collect the last few points.
It's been a fantastic week of badminton so far. No less than former world number 1s in each of the 5 disciplines here in Sydney this week. 8 former world champions, 11 world junior champions as well. And now it all gets down to the business end. $120,000 US in prize money up for grabs for our combatants. Goto won the coin toss and will serve, looking for a place in the 2012 Yonex Australian Badminton Open Women's Single Final. Amanda Balam from England is the chair umpire. Yogan Bhatnagar is our service judge. Goto to serve. First points on the board for Goto. How important is it to make a bright start in this sort of competition, Mark, in the semi-final day when you need to settle any nerves that you may have?
Yeah, it's incredibly important to get the game off to a good start. It's very easy to get a few points behind, and it's difficult to claw your way back. A fantastic cross-court winner there for Bae. She's got a bit of a question mark over her fitness at the moment. Her knees have been giving her some problems throughout the tournament. I spoke to her coach earlier, and she's looking to get through this tournament, possibly play in India and then have a bit of a break prior to the Olympics.
Well, Bae Youn Joo to serve for the first time.
Another penetrating smash there. She's just very deceptive overhead, Bae.
2-1 to the Korean. Just long from Goto, but a fabulous point. Both players trying to move each other around the court as well.
Very strategic. It was a good angle there and a great pickup from Bae. Just floating long out the back. Really good defensive play. She was very deceptive at the front court. Opened up for the easy winner at the net. This control. Goto struggling, and then the easy put away at the net.
Beautifully constructed point for the 3-point lead now in the first game. Fabulous again from Bae Youn Joo.
Just that left-hander able to mix up the angles and create the problems for the Japanese player. She really does have an awesome selection of shots. She could have gone either way with that shot. Placed across court for another winner.
That's long again. 6 consecutive points now for Bae, the number 5th seed. That was better. Goto.
A lot more aggressive in that rally. You see that she's desperate to try and take control. She's been dictated so far by Bae. She needs to take back the ascendancy.
It's just long.
She's really struggling with control at the back of the court there. May even be a little bit to do with the little bit of variation in the air conditioning inside the venue. Pushed it long again. She's really struggling to settle in this first game, to find her range. I think that's about 4 errors now. She's pushed out the back of the court. Bae has very good judgment. Only an inch out. Oh, she took it early, pushed it wide.
Goto back on the scoreboard, back in serve, but trailing by 5 now in this first game, 3-8. Again, just unable with the little drop over the net. She hands back the initiative to the Korea Republic player.
That's better. Well, it's just called wide. Very disappointed there. It was called in. Must have called the line. Overall from the service judge? No, the central umpire.
Well, it did look good from where we were sitting. Oh, brilliant point. And Goto, perhaps that close call. Just lifting her spirits a little bit.
Really testing out those knees. We know that Bae's got a problem with her knees. We need to see Goto moving her around the court, controlling the rally, putting as much pressure on as she can.
Just looks over her shoulder as well. Was that going long?
The unforced errors earlier in the game with her pushing the shuttle along herself. She's just a little bit indecisive at the moment. That comes with the pressure and the intensity of the situation.
Well, she reached a career high 17th in the world just a couple of weeks ago in the rankings on the back of that first ever tournament victory in Poland. So at the first break, it's 11-5 in game one in favor of Bae Youn Joo over Goto. Well, Goto won that first point on service of the game, but from then on, she was doing it tough against Bae Youn Joo, 21-year-old from Korea Republic. The left-hander as well gives her another option. It always takes a little while to adjust. Goto, who's had that easy run we mentioned through to the semi-finals, 2 walkovers, and also inherited essentially the #1 seed's route to the semi-final as well. Just those 2 real games that she's played so far. And here she is now in the semi-final, trailing 5-11. Bae Youn Joo to serve now at 11-5 in the first game. Women's semi-finals action from Sydney.
Oh, brilliant cross-court backhand there at the net. Her net play really is one of the highlights of her ability. We'll see it here again. She just controls the shuttle so well. The deception comes there, and there's the easy winner.
Goto again with the unforced error, just finding the top of the tape. She now trails by 8. Now, Mark, there's a fair height difference between the 2 girls as well, and we're seeing that Goto is not generating enough power, not causing enough discomfort to Bae with those smashes.
She really is on the back foot in this game. It's incredibly difficult when you get down 14-5 in the first game to be able to come back. She's just allowing herself to be dictated to at the moment. Just pushing it wide. That was much better, a better constructed point there from Goto. She really pushed her around the court, putting Bae in a lot of pressure, and then using the angle, forcing her deep into the backhand corner. And you see that shuttle floating out to the side. Oh, great shot there.
All of a sudden, a little bit more aggression in her play as well. That last long point, deciding to try and take the game to Bae. And there, that was a confident little backhand flick.
Here it goes again. She's just struggling to find her range at the backcourt. When it's almost an unforced error, but not, because she's under so much pressure from the back of the court that she's really searching for the baseline. She knows if she drops it short, she's going to be under more pressure.
That time it's long from Bae Youn Joo.
You often find with the drift that occurs with the air conditioning in venues like this, that when you hit the shuttle flatter and faster, looking to put pressure on your opponent, that it's much easier to push the shuttle out the back of the court. Superb play. That deft touch to drop the shuttle. She had control of the rally with that cross court. She took it early, and you see the deception with the wrist. She changed direction. Bae had no answer for it. Brilliant play. she repeats the dose to her in the next point. They're both players looking to take control from the front court. And you see when they can take the shuttle early how many options they have. They can go cross court, they can go straight.
Brilliant that time from Goto, who seems reluctant more and more now to try and push her to the backcourt. She's putting a lot of those smashes in, trying to bring Bae in close almost.
I think she sees that if she allows Bae to dictate from the back of the court, she's not going to get the opportunities at the front either. She has to make the play. Just has the deception. You see Goto was on the back foot thinking it was going to be a clear into her back corner, and the last second takes the pace off.
It's a 7-point game, 17-10.
Just wide.
Again, just a couple of centimetres in it. And again, the point was probably hers that time. Bae beaten. That time lands in, comfortably in as well. So the judgment from Bae just off there.
Probably more hopeful than anything, hoping to get a nice free point. She's been right every other time, so we can give her that one. There again, that overhead deception. She had Goto on the back foot. She could have gone cross court. She could have gone smashed down the line. Instead, she, at the very last second, there's where the play was made. And then she takes all the pace off. Goto almost doing the splits to get that. Still couldn't retrieve it.
Bae 2 points from this opening game, but the service is long. That's a free point for Goto. You're just seeing the power game of Bae, and that gives her now the option to use that deception so effectively, because she's just blasted Goto for so many of the early points in this first game, and now she's just adding that extra string to the bow. Another cheap point.
Absolutely.
And game
she looks confident now too.
Game point for Bae Youn Joo. A deceptive serve from Bae Youn Joo, perhaps a little bit of overconfidence that time. Not paying off. Goto hasn't had her final word in this opening game just yet.
She pumps the fist. She needs to win a couple of points just to get her confidence back.
It's wide that time though. So the first game goes in favour of the 5th seed, Bae Youn Joo, 21-13. Well, it was a opening game, Mark, where Bae showed plenty of confidence, plenty of power as well, and then as that confidence grew, she just started to bring in other factors to her game as well.
And that's what being a world-class player is all about, having options all the time, keeping your opponent guessing. She was in control of probably 80% of those rallies. Goto had a good look a number of times, and we see some replays here. Bae is a great mover around the court. Some question mark over her knees and injury problems, but she's not showing any signs of it so far.
And in the tournament so far as well, Mark, that win in the quarterfinals over the 2010 world champion Wang Lin, it was 3 sets. She had to fight hard as well, but that is just huge for the confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You just need to have a few big wins to bring your confidence up, to know that you're in good form. It's no good having an easy ride all the way through the finals and then playing against a top player in the semis or in the final, having not had a hard hit out. You can train all you like, but getting the intensity of match play is what it's all about. we see the heavy taping on Bae's knees. She that left knee there takes a lot of pressure, and she's got a heavy taping.
The compression bandage on the right calf as well, not causing her too much discomfort just yet.
Second game.
The 5th seed from Korea Republic, Bae Youn Joo, a game up and now serving at the start of this second game in this first women's semi-finals in the 2012 Yonex Australian Badminton Open. And as it was in game 1, it's a first point to Japan's Goto. Great angle again from Goto. Just occasionally, Bae wants the shuttlecock changed up.
Just a good angle there from Goto. She really didn't play too badly in the first game, so she just needs to make a couple of minor adjustments. She could turn it around.
Well, Goto thought that was long. He wants to question the ruling by the linesman there as well.
Oh, it looked a bit long too. I thought it was out my first look. I think she was right.
So instead of a 3-point lead at the start of this second game, it's 2-1 now. All of a sudden, Bae Youn Joo's game just deserting him momentarily. She's not reading the intentions of Goto. Well, forced to defend there, Goto. And Bae, that time, seizing the opportunity.
Just using that. The left-hander creates that added angle across court. Goto put everything into it to try and get it back.
That's a little bit too cutesy that time from Bae, who misses out on the chance to tie it up at 3-3 in this second game.
That's a great angle there. Goto looks more confident from this end of the court. I don't know whether it's now she feels a lot of those unforced errors in the first game were affecting her, where she couldn't keep the shuttle in the back part of the court, but she just looks a bit more confident in this game. Hence the lead, 5-2.
Again, Goto thought it was long. Doesn't want to challenge too much, but she's clearly letting her feelings be felt out there.
It's very hard to tell from that angle. Again, maybe in a similar position as the last one.
That time, Bae just returns to the power game to get her back in it. It's frustrating for Goto because those two calls have come when she's had a chance to get a 3-point buffer, a little bit of breathing space, and all of a sudden Bae wins the next point and she's right back in it.
It was a fairly good prediction too from you, Robbie, at 5-5 now in the second game. You just see that Goto sometimes falls into the trap of allowing herself to be dictated by Bae during the rally. Sometimes going for a little bit too much when she's out of position. She needs to be a little bit more conservative. That's just wide.
It certainly seems more comfortable when she's in close to the net, doesn't she? Not trying to exchange that power game from the backcourt with Bae. Well wide again, so it's another 2-point lead now for Goto. She lost the first game by 8 points, 21-13. Now leads by 2.
Good control again from the front court. Bae has that ability to take the shuttle really early, and that's where she's able to control the rallies. You also notice a slight drift you see on some of those rallies, a slight drift from right to left in the air affecting the shuttle. Fantastic scrambling rally there from Goto, but it's not going to get the job done. Bae is in control of this rally. You see she takes the shuttle so early, and Goto can only just make her play another shot, but it's an easy put away.
And after she'd been forced to work so hard as well, just to keep it alive.
Again, she's just forced into a bad position, and she's just going for something. You know, almost going for a winner out of being in a really tough spot, where I think she'd be better placed to just put the shuttle back into the rally and look for something better. That's just, she's just too far out of the rally for that one.
That's wide. And from a 2-point lead, it's 4 points in a row for the Korean Bae, who herself now leads by 2. Goto just wants to have a little breather for a moment, collect her thoughts perhaps more than anything, a bit of sweat into the eyes. Well, that's the 3rd or 4th time now in this game I've seen her finding the net, but not even the tape, about halfway up.
Yeah, Bae's really pushing her into that backhand corner. You see this clear. It's very flat and fast. Goto just can't control it. Break.
Big slice of fortune, but that's 6 points in a row now for Bae Youn Joo, who leads 11-7 in game 2. Mark, is it fair to say that the longer a point goes on, the more chance Bae has of winning it at this stage?
Well, it certainly looks like that. She's definitely in control more often than not. She's more conservative when she's out of position, and she's dictating the rallies pretty much on an 80-90% basis. So you would expect her to win more of the rallies. She's not making too many unforced errors. On the other hand, Goto is probably trying a little bit too hard sometimes when she's out of position. I mean, she's probably clasping at straws a little bit, trying to get something to happen for herself.
Bae Youn Joo has turned this second game of her singles semi-final around, trailing by as many as 3 points, and then 7-5. She's won the last 6.
Oh, what a shot. superb play from Bae. Both players, actually. It was just a fantastic rally. Bae just coming up with an impossible angle on the return there. This is what the crowd comes to see. The athleticism of both players, and then that return clips the tape.
And what does that do to your confidence as well, Mark? Bae Youn, she had 2 or 3 chances in that rally to win the point, and she just didn't back herself to really grab it by the throat, and in the end made to pay.
Absolutely. And you see there, Bae is super confident now. You know, it gives you a real buzz. You play a shot like that, you hear the crowd reaction, the goosebumps that go with it. It really gives you an adrenaline boost. Now she looks so confident. She moves in for the easy kill.
She was just trying to loosen up that hip a little bit during that last technical break. At 11-7, she's added 2 more points to that, make it 3 now. Oh, it's been called in. Bae Youn knows how that feels after that's happened a couple of times to her up the other end.
She really needs to focus now and win a couple of easy points here to get her game back on track. Just wide.
Well, that's the first of those points she needs to win back. It wasn't that easy as well. For the moment, everything she seems to throw at Bae comes straight back at her. And again, it's just there for the hitting, isn't it? She's setting up too many points, just handing Bae the initiative.
Just not enough control from the front court. She probably would have been better to bring that back cross court to the net rather than try and push it over her head.
Just long from Bae, who looks towards the chair umpire, Amanda Balam from England, as well, just to get confirmation. In this topsy-turvy second game, may just be turning back into Bae Youn's favour as well. Now she only trails by 4, serving at 10-14.
What we're calling a semi-unforced error there. She knew she had to make it tight and close to the net, but she just didn't have the right level of control. Difficult shot to play to take the pace off the shuttle. A sense of relief there from Bae.
She's got that doubt in her mind now, doesn't she? Because Bae is just pouncing on everything. She was caught in 2 minds a little earlier with that push long that was half push long, half just dink over. And now that's in her mind now every time. Every little drop over the net has to be inch perfect, as that one has landed in as well from Bae. It just means there's no easy points out there for her.
No, Goto will not get an easy point. Bae is just such a solid player all around the court. Solid in defence and in attack.
Time it's long. She may be down in the low teens now in the world rankings, but in June of last year, 2011, she was up as high as 5th in the world. Bae Youn Joo. And perhaps those injuries, if she can just keep them at bay and rediscover some of that form. It's obviously for badminton, it's a big year, isn't it? An Olympic year for these players.
Well, it's absolutely massive, and taking form into the Olympic Games is what it's all about. You don't want to have any niggling injuries. You want to get everything settled and be at the top of your game. So it really does. It's really critical for them to be as fit as they possibly can at this time of the year.
Just wide. She watched it carefully. She had a little look down to the line to make sure she had all her bearings right as well.
When you think about how many points have been given away, just centimetres in it, really does become a game of centimetres and millimetres at times. The difference between success and failure can be an inch or two here and there.
Goto to serve, and it's just about last chance saloon now, isn't it, for the Japanese player? She trails by 6. Already a game down.
It's going to push wide.
Well wide. In the end, 2 points from the match now for the number 5 seed, Bae Youn Joo.
Again, that brilliant angle from the backcourt. Just that ability to drag the shuttle down, take the pace off. The shuttle just dies in front of the opposition player.
Match point for Korea Republic's Bae Youn Joo. And there is game and match for Bae Youn Joo, the Korea Premier Super Series semi-finalist earlier this year, is now in to the final of the 2012 Yonex Australian Badminton Open. In just over half an hour, she has made light work of Goto. 21-13, 21-12. And Mark, the chance for Goto was at the start of that second game, wasn't it? When she looked like her confidence was growing, she had the chance to take it. A couple of calls went her way, and that clearly, visibly, just rattled her a little bit as well. She felt frustrated at those moments.
Yeah, and that was where she needed to turn her match around, was at the start of that second game. And she had a couple of close calls that didn't go her way, and I think that did throw her a little bit.
As we see the highlights now of that match, 32 minutes. Straight sets victory for Bae Youn Joo. Let's see how hard Goto was forced to work for everything.
She was just under so much pressure all the time. The Korean is a superb mover around the court. You know, she is so strong and powerful, and she has the real deft touch at the net as well, which allows her to dictate the rallies.
Well, there is the match. Bae Youn Joo, the 5th seed, defeating the unseeded Goto 21-13, 21-12 to book her place in the final.